Alright, let's discuss the most important class into the game, the Engineers. We'll start with the Pure Engineer Squad. Um, so, the most important thing this thing can do is right here. You can build the spawn point for your team. You can build one at a time. You cannot build multiple. But you can also build ammo, this weird little like Molotov launcher gun. It's kind of weird. Then you have AT, which is an AT gun. This thing's sexy. You'll use it one day and this will be amazing. And then outside of that, you have a little AA gun, which I never use. You can't aim low. You have to like put it on a weird hill, and sometimes you can aim low, so it's not very useful. Um, but you can build it that way sometimes. Then you got walls. Love myself some walls. Sandbags. You can build them very quickly. You can build up to 10 at a time, and then the oldest one gets destroyed. The oldest of the 10, if you keep building. Outside of that, you got barbed wire and these hedgehog things, which, they're hedgehogs and barbed wire. But I'll kind of show you all of these things in action throughout the rest of this, just so you use them. I'm not going to use the barbed wire hedgehogs. I mean, they stop people. Alright, so AT10, or the AT gun. All you gotta do, is build this in somewhere sexy. This is not a good spot. I'm just building it because I'm building it. To show you. So you build it, you could pop into it. You got anti-tank rounds, anti-infantry. It shoots very quickly, so it's very good if you're up in a good spot. Again, I just put it in a good spot, but you can just send all the rounds flying quickly down range. It's pretty hard to shoot you out of it if they're in front of you. They're not very good at shooting you out of it. Snipers will get you sometimes, but that's about it. You can refill the ammo. If you're an engineer, you pull out your construction hammer. You can refill it by holding T. You can see that at the bottom. T to replenish. And as long as you have resources, with that engineer, you can refill it and then get right back on to sending the hate down the line. Sending the hate. And this is the weird little Molotov thrower. The difference with this thing is it has unlimited ammo. It's okay. It's just the problem is it's pretty easy to destroy. Like if one bullet hits the actual turret, it'll break it. You're pretty decent. It's not very hard to shoot you off of it. It's pretty slow to fire. It's a little difficult. As you can see, it drops very quickly. But you can get some people, especially in like a situation like I built it here. As you can see, there's a point just to my left. So you can, I know they all have to generally run through here. They're, to get to the point. But it's kind of fun, and sometimes you can find some really effective places if there's a nice choke point or whatever. You don't see very many people use this, but only the engineer, the pure engineer squad can build this. You unlock it through the squad unlocks, which you can see in my first tutorial if you want to go back and look at that for how to upgrade things throughout the game. But it's decent, does okay damage. You can see here it makes it pretty hard for them to get inside too. But that's really all I have for these. Also the main, these are the main weapons you can build as an engineer. There's an engineer squad, that is. We'll jump over to an actual machine gun squad here too. So in a machine gun squad, the difference is you have engineers, you can put them up as well. They can still build the OPs, which I'll show you here shortly, the rally points. Sorry, they're called rally points in Enlisted. But you can build them, and the difference is everything else is the same, except you can't build AT guns or AA or anything, but you can build the heavy machine gun. This can only be done as an engineer in a machine gun squad. So you can go build them and set them up overlooking an area. As I was filming this, honestly, I just wasn't really thinking. I was just trying to set up a pretty picture for you, but as you build it, you'll see that it's completely useless because it's in a shitty spot. So sorry about that. But it will. One thing that's kind of weird about this is, I mentioned on the other guns, or I mentioned before, when you build, like, you have a limit for how many walls and barbed wires and things you can build. The difference is you only can build one machine gun at a time. If it's not destroyed by you, you can't go build another one. It has to be destroyed before you can rebuild it, even if you have the resources. So it's something to consider when you're building them. Again, you can only build these as a machine gun squad. They're nice because they have unlimited ammo. The only thing you have to worry about is they overheat. The gun itself can be destroyed with just a few shots, but most of the time if you're laying enough hate down the rail, throwing it down range, it's kind of hard for people to really lie side up on you unless it's like a sniper. But as you can see, it's pretty effective. There's not that many infantry running around in this, but it doesn't take. Then you get OPs. OPs are wonderful because they have the your whole team can spawn on these. As you can see, I have the distance of about 75 meters is as close as you can be to an objective point. You put your OP down, or your rally point, and your whole team can spawn on it. And so I like to build little walls and defenses around it. You'll notice that the walls, or the reason I put up these walls is because one bullet, if it hits the spawn point, your little OP or rally point, it destroys it. So someone can just walk by and shoot it, and they don't have to deconstruct it. I always like putting ammo there just in case our squad, someone tries to hold up and make a last stand there, they have ammo. But that's it for that portion. Alright, here I switched factions because I don't have an AT squad set up on my other faction. So anyway, AT, the only real difference from your anti-tank squad is when you switch to your engineer, instead of machine guns or the lobbing grenade launchers and things, you have just an AT gun. It's the only weapon you can build. But again, they're sexy if you put them in the right spot. Here I put it in a terrible spot because as you see, it's on a ledge and I can't aim down, so that's my bad, but I was just building it to show you anyway. Outside of that, you can still build rally points and ammo and walls and all of that, so the engineer is overall just the best class in the game by far, in terms of the use for it. So if you play them, make sure you get your rally points. They are absolutely imperative to win. If your team doesn't have at least 2 engineers building good rally points, you're pretty much done. Thanks for watching, good luck.